This video was sponsored by Holy. We're used to seeing a predictable cycle in gaming. A studio drops a massive, critically acclaimed hit, wins tons of awards, and immediately gets to work on a bigger, more ambitious sequel. Think Naughty Dog after The Last of Us, or Bethesda following Skyrim. But what if a studio did everything right, but were treated as if they were a failure? Imagine after the success of Batman Arkham Asylum, Warner Brothers told Rocksteady, "Thanks for the money and awards. Don't worry about working on that Arkham City game you started development on. And oh yeah, we're laying off 90% of your staff, leaving a skeleton crew in limbo." Sounds like a dystopian developer nightmare. Well, this basically happened, but for the developers Camouflaj Studio, who released 2024's Batman Arkham Shadow, which received praise from fans and critics, who finally felt that Arkham Batman was back. But sadly, this did not last long. This raises the question, what the hell happened to Arkham Shadow 2? Before we get started on today's video, I need an energy boost. That's why I'm using today's sponsor, Holy. Holy were kind enough to send me a bunch of flavors to try out, and I would show you a video of the box they sent me, but I actually drank it all, so enjoy the one photo I took before tearing through all the options. Holy's drinks are sugar-free drinks that offer plenty of variety to enhance your day. Tired? Try Holy Energy. Just want a nice refreshment? Try iced tea. Want to treat yourself without the guilt? Try their milkshakes. My favourite would definitely have to be the hydration section, which is really handy to have after a long gym session. Coconut is super tasty, but they also offer plenty of other options, so you can easily find one that suits you. Another weirdly cool item that they sent me was their syrup pods, which I honestly wasn't on board with originally, but after trying it out, it's actually really tasty and pretty easy to set up. What I definitely recommend is the starter set deluxe, which gives you 14 packs of energy, 14 packs of iced tea, 14 packs of hydration, 15 packs of milkshakes, and a free thermo shaker, which is normally $59.99, but you can get it for £54 using my code for 10% off. Be sure to check out Holy, link below. In order to get an idea of how hyped people were for Arkham Shadow's sequel, we need to have a look back at Arkham Shadow and its lead up to the release, which surprisingly was pretty bad. When Meta released their teaser for Arkham Shadow, the video received quite a lot of backlash, mainly due to fans' frustration with the next Batman game being tied exclusively to the MetaQuest 3. This trailer was released before any confirmation was made of the more affordable MetaQuest 3S, so fans felt they were expected to pay up €550 in order to see more of a character who was basically on every platform before this. Camouflaj Studios were really able to bring this back though, with multiple QA videos on Batman Arkham Video's channel, interacting with fans, and showing behind the scenes development. The team were really able to win back fans and get people excited, me included, as I felt I was being forced to buy a whole new console in order to play one game. A quick synopsis of Arkham Shadow would be that it's a VR action-adventure game set between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum, following a young Batman as he fights to save Gotham from a cult leader known as the Rat King. Batman Arkham Shadow received immense praise for its story, gameplay and voice acting. The performances were top notch. Roger Craig Smith returns as Batman, Troy Baker reprises his role as Harvey Dent, and we get some incredible new additions to the cast. Mark Rolston as Commissioner Gordon, and the actor who played Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, as a brilliant Dr. Jonathan Crane. Something that Camouflaj did perfectly was translate Batman Arkham's combat from the flat screen to VR, and it actually made you feel like Batman. This included everything you could think of from the free-flow combat that was in the older games, such as counters, ground takedowns, and you can even use your gadgets while in combat. The story is one of the best in the Arkhamverse. It felt like a roller coaster of emotions, but in a good way. We saw Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent's relationship in its early stages, and we even got to see some villains' origins before they went bad. Honestly, reviews do not give this game justice. The music, atmosphere, lighting, and the insane attention to detail. Words really do not describe how incredible this is. and it's probably the only reason I would spend €350 to play one game. The last time that a Batman Arkham game attempted VR, which was simply titled Batman Arkham VR, actually got a bunch of awards, but mixed reception. Zero Punctuation's Ben Croshaw called the game incredible garbage, and also that it was a half-hour CD-ROM visual tour from the mid to late 90s, later nominating it as one of the worst games of 2016. Arkham Shadow on the MetaQuest 3 was completely different though. Camouflaj wouldn't just receive high praise for their accomplishments, they would actually get awards, and plenty of them. Arkham Shadow would win some of the biggest awards you can get for VR, Best VR Game at the Game Awards, Coney Island's Dreamland Award for Best VR Game in the New York Game Awards, and winner of the Immersive Reality Game of the Year for the annual DICE Awards. Although nothing confirmed, Camouflaj Studios seemed giddy with what their next project was going to be, with fans believing it to be another Batman Arkham game, continuing Arkham Shadow's story. The developers kept their cards close to their chest, but this was pretty short-lived, as in August 2025, coming up to a year after the first game released, the actor for Commissioner Gordon, Mark Rolston, accidentally spoiled that the production on a sequel was about to start.
However, I just did a virtual reality game which was released last year called Batman Arkham Shadow. So I love that challenge, and we did it, and I play Commissioner Gordon in that. And we're about to start the second VR game shortly.
The confusing thing about this though is that we would later find out that Camouflaj apparently wouldn't be the team to develop the game, with the sequel being handed to Sanzaru Games, the developers of the Asgard Wrath games, although not confirmed if Sanzaru had complete control of the project, or maybe they were only a support team. No matter what was going on behind the scenes, none of this really mattered, as Meta, in a desperate attempt to catch up with growing AI trends, shut down basically any VR related studios, believing that Meta glasses were the future. In January 2026, Meta shut down studios Twisted Pixel, Armature Studios, and Sanzaru, completely cancelling any projects that were in development. Camouflaj Studios, although not technically on the chopping block, would get a pretty severe cut in staff, with only apparently a handful remaining at the end of it. As of this video, there's been no mention of what Camouflaj Studios' next big project is, if they'll even survive long enough to make one. My guess is that they will probably push to get into the AI or AR sectors of Meta, working with the more trendy AI Ray-Ban glasses in order to avoid Meta's next round of layoffs. Sadly, we don't know much else about Arkham Shadow's sequel. The story could have focused on the early stages of Dick Grayson's career as Robin, maybe a story around Jason Todd's apparent death at the hands of the Joker, or it could have fast forward in time to take place between the events of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, similar to how Arkham Shadow filled in the gaps between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum. Pretty sad and depressing end for Camouflaj Studios, proving that no matter how successful a gaming company can be, they are still completely at the mercy of corporate parent companies who care more about what's trending rather than making great games. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the new series. What would you like to see in this series? That's all for now. My name is Fo, and Slan.